The harsh truth when it comes to your healing journey is that you have to be isolated, you have to be separated in order for you to know who you are, where you are, and what it is that you want to do in this life. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, High Guidance, and that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Now, with that being said, because there is no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only take what resonates as well as leave the rest. So if it does not apply, then that means it's not in line, which means it's not for you, so don't force it. As well as grab your pens, grab your paper, and be prepared to take notes. For the month of April, and in this video specifically, we're going to be talking about you having to be isolated and why you being to yourself is mandatory in order for you to heal yourself. These are the harsh truths of your healing journey, as well as some recommendations, some reminders, some disclaimers, and just certain things that you need to be aware of. So starting off with the introduction, starting off the first disclaimer, your healing journey is for you. Say it with me, pause the video, put it in the comment section. Your healing journey is for you. Your healing journey is for you, which means your life is for you. Shout out to Mariah Carey. She says, "'Cause it's my life, no stress, no." Finish the lyrics if you know the words. Your life is for you, which means what you do is going to be back on you. Like what you put out, it comes back to you, which sneak peek is going to be the next couple of videos coming soon. But anyways, you're meant to experience this life for you. So until you realize that you are an individual and that you're allowed to make decisions for yourself, you're going to struggle with being influenced. You're going to struggle with attachment issues. You're going to struggle with abandonment issues. You're going to struggle with having confidence. And that's the second disclaimer. Until you work on your confidence, until you are secure in yourself, until you have enough conviction and trust within yourself, you are constantly going to want to be distracted. You are constantly want to be around people, places, and things. You're constantly going to seek and need validation from people, places, and things. And that's what you need to work on. If you struggle with being alone, that is a red flag. It's a red flag. Now, of course, we're going to get into the recommendations. This is the third disclaimer. The reason why you're struggling to be alone is because you do have codependency issues. You do have abandonment issues. You were neglected a lot of times in your childhood, in your households, in your communities, around people, places, and things. You were, quote unquote, the person who was a sore thumb and stood out compared to everybody else. You have to accept the fact that you are unique and nobody is you. It doesn't matter if people look like you, walk like you, talk like you. They can never be you. You are one of one. Nobody is the same. Nobody is irreplaceable. You have to understand that you have your own essence. You have your own energy. And until you are okay with embracing and being authentic to whatever version that looks like with you, you're going to think your healing journey is lonely. So many people talk about the healing journey is lonely. The healing journey is lonely. It's not. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I get so irritated when people say that because it's just like, what do you mean? You have attachment issues. There's something subconsciously, emotionally, physically, or financially, like you want to be around people and places and things before you want to be with yourself. You want people to support you. You want people to like you. You want people to love you, but you don't have that energy for yourself. You have to have that energy for yourself before you expect that from other people. And that's the only reason why you're struggling, just in life in general. You don't know who you are, so you don't know what you want, which means you don't know what you need to do. So the fourth disclaimer is knowing that you are going to have to learn to be okay to spend time with yourself. Being alone is not a negative thing. Just because you're alone in certain seasons and certain moments of your life, you guys hear that creaking noise? Oh my gosh. Doesn't mean that you always have to be lonely or that you're going to be alone all the time. Being alone is a privilege because that means you're controlling your energy, you control your thoughts, you control your emotions, which means you're not easily distracted. You don't allow people and places and things to distract you. And you put your time, energy, and effort into the things that you want. You can't complain about one certain things when you're not willing to make the time because you don't know what you need to do or why you want them. So lastly, before we get into the recommendations of you being isolated and separated, you have to accept that it's necessary. If you're around dysfunction, corruption, and confusion, or poverty, just the people and places and things that you don't want to be in your future or what you have as your goals, How do you expect to change? How do you expect your life to be different if you're constantly surrounding people and places and things who are a version of you that you are meant to outgrow? So for example, if you grew up in poverty, if you grew up on food stamps, if you grew up paycheck to paycheck and you want to be a multi-millionaire, multi-trillionaire, multi-billionaire, you want to be financially literate, you want to invest into stocks or whatever it is that you're into, and you keep surrounding yourself with the same people who have this poverty mindset, how do you expect to become wealthy? How do you expect to become educated? If you're constantly watching people and places and things complain about prices, inflation, it's always going to be inflation. It's always going to be classism and stuff like that, because that's just how the world is. Let's be for real. It's not even about being political. How do you expect to look at life differently? Because, for example, there are people in this world who are quote unquote not struggling financially, don't suffer at all. This is why you see people go to Coachella and go on trips on TikTok and on YouTube and make these videos and have all these nice materialistic things, because that's all they are. And then you do have some people in this world, unfortunately, who don't even have running water. You have to decide where you want to be despite your circumstances. Is it fair? No. So don't come for me in the comment section talking about I'm a capitalist or elitist, because at the end of the day, everybody has to survive. Everybody has to make money. Everyone has to be able to take care of themselves. I'm just letting you know that if you no longer want to live a certain type of way, you have to be okay with that. You can't continue to surround yourself with people and places and things who think a certain type of way. Even with myself, even with me wanting the things that I want in life, I knew it was possible. I knew it was real because I've experienced it as a child, in my adult years, in my teenage years, and moving forward. It is okay. So the first recommendation is knowing that it is okay to be alone. It is okay to want more for yourself. If people and places and things have a problem with you wanting to outgrow certain mindsets and ideologies and beliefs, you need to leave them where they are. You can't hold on to family members, friends, relationships, coworkers, jobs, even environments if it is stagnating your growth. If it's not pouring into you, if it's not financing you, if it's not giving you access to grow or to gain visibility, you don't need it. Being isolated is not a negative thing, especially if you've been distracted. Like, if you're a good person, and even if you haven't always known who you are, or if you know who you are, there are going to be people in this world who feel some type of way. There are going to be people in this world who feel some type of way because I've always been financially stable, internally and externally, materialistically or not. That's not my problem. I don't care, if I'm being completely honest. And the reason why I don't care is because people are given opportunities. People get warnings before they get destructions. Now, if you're somebody who is not willing to make a way, that's on you, because everyone has the opportunity to be creative. How they decide to tap into it, that's between them, their God, the ancestors, in the universe. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Over here, I made a choice. I made a decision. Even before I got the things that I wanted, quote unquote, materialistically in my life, I had to decide. I've been in situations where I didn't want to be around the certain environments. I didn't have to think that I was better than people. I didn't have to look down on people. I just decided that if I want to be better, I have to be okay with separating myself. And if anybody thinks, oh, you're all that or you're conceited, I'm not here to change your mind. That's the first recommendation. You have to be okay with standing on your beliefs. You have to be okay with liking the things that you like. Not everything is for everybody. It's not a crime to disagree with people. It's not a crime to not like certain things. But personally, what you focus on grows. So if you know you don't want certain things and certain people try to make you feel bad, you have to separate yourself from them, because there are people who are in alignment with you. Like, everybody that's in alignment with my content on this account and just my personal accounts, there's no issues. All the people who go against what I'm saying or are not equally yoked, that's not my issue to say. I don't have to care. I don't know why you're here. I don't know why people spend their time, energy, and effort focusing on people and placing things that are not for them if they're not willing to take notes. Because at the end of the day, the second recommendation, you're allowed to want what you want. Like, it's not a crime. The second recommendation is knowing that what you want already exists. You hear people say that all the time. It's not cliche. The house, the car, the clothes, all that materialistic stuff is materialistic. It's materialistic. A lot of people just want materials in life. Like, that's it. Now, if you don't want materials, pat yourself on the back, okay? Shout out to you, because you understand it's more to life than just materials. But like I said, everybody has to survive. People think, oh, survival mode is for people that are poor. Or no, a lot of you all are traumatized and you're confusing that with survival. Don't confuse your trauma with survival. Everyone still needs to eat. Everyone still needs running water. Everyone still needs to be able to bathe. That's surviving. Look up that word, okay? So A third recommendation, because I just basically said the first one and the second one, which was being okay with being alone, being okay with cutting off certain people, places, and things, and standing on what it is that you like, is knowing that when you are separated, you have to be able to, like I said, be intentional. Like I said, if you're used to dysfunction and you no longer want to be around toxic people, you can't continue to surround yourself with them, because subconsciously you're picking up on it. When you have a positive mind, or if you have a light about you and everybody else, let's just say, is dark, you will start to believe what you see from other people. Like, and I'm speaking from experience. I've always had a light. I've always had an energy. This is why I make my content. And this is why I've never cared about how people care about me or perceive me. Because first of all, you don't know me. Like, let's be for real. Second of all, you have to understand, when you have a light and everyone else around you doesn't have a light, they're going to project and deflect. And I'm speaking from experience. So many people projected or deflected, or they thought they were projecting and deflected. Me personally, I had to put in one ear and out the other. Like, you can't listen to everybody. You can't watch everybody. You can't pay attention to everybody, because everything is not for you. And the longer you watch and you listen and you take advice and you surround yourself, like I said, with people and places and things, the more you're going to feel like being alone is a bad thing. You need clarity. You need a certain level of discernment. You need to have a certain level of wisdom and knowledge in order for you to things that you want to do. So the fourth recommendation is knowing that you separating yourself, that's when the downloads are going to come. That's when you're going to get the confirmations. That's when you're going to have the vision. That's when you're going to be able to create something from nothing. That's when you get the thoughts. That's when you get the ideas. That's when you get the steps. If you can't hear God or ancestors or the universe, take what resonates, leave the rest, how are you supposed to know where to go? If you can't hear yourself, if you can't discern what's real based off of what you want to experience, based off of what you were taught and shown, how are you going to be able to live your life? It is okay that you had family members and friends and certain people and places and things who did the best that they could, right, with what they had or what they thought was the best for you. Now, at your big age, you're going to have to become an adult. You're going to have to learn how to think for yourself. Even with me, ask questions. If people are going to give you advice, or if you think someone's for you, you need to be able to ask them questions. People shouldn't get offended with you asking them questions, as long as you're not asking questions that are rude or disrespectful and it's appropriate. Like, if you're unsure about if you should listen to somebody or watch somebody, just ask yourself, well, is what they're doing hurting me and harming me? Is what they're doing making sense to me? If it's not making sense, you don't have to listen. Just because somebody calls you ugly, just because somebody says that you can't do something, it doesn't mean it's true. The only way you think you're ugly, or the only way you think you're unable to do something, is if you don't want to, or if you're not willing to think highly of yourself. And that's the final recommendation. You have to learn how to just be you. Being separated, our healing journeys, you guys, I'm looking at my notes so I don't get distracted or make this video longer than what it needs to be, is not lonely. It's necessary. And I'm speaking from experience. When I was around certain people, places, and things in certain chapters that I did not need to be, it was making me realize, hey, Ty Guidance, Tiana, that's my real name, you're not meant to be here. And the longer I would have stayed in these situations and environments, the longer I would have felt like I was struggling or distracted. But like I said, by the grace of God, my ancestors in the universe, I was able to move forward. If you feel uncomfortable and you don't want to be somewhere, you have to separate yourself. So be okay with outgrowing certain people, places, and things. Be okay with people talking about you. Be okay with, it doesn't matter. The right people, the people and the places and things, the opportunities, the experiences, the materials, the cars, it's waiting for you. But you have to let it go. You have to be able to think for yourself, because if you have goals, like I said, to get yourself out of poverty, you can't be surrounding yourself with people who have a poverty mindset. If you have goals to lose weight, you can't be surrounding yourself with big bags. If you have goals to mentally, like I said, heal and regulate your nervous system, you can't be around people who stress you out. If you have goals to accomplish things that nobody has seen before, you can't surround yourself with small minds. You can't surround yourself with people who say, oh, you can't do that. No, they can't do that. So I'm gonna end up the video with that. Thank you guys for watching the video all the way to the end. Make sure you guys are following me on all my social media platforms. All the information is down in the description box below. When you follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, I will be going live for the rest of the month of April, answering whatever questions that you guys have if I didn't answer them already in the comment section, and just talking about these things in real time, because it is April. It's about to be May. It's about to be 5 months into the year 2026. We're not here to be doing the same thing. So if you're tired of doing the same things, let me know what you need to work on. Let me know what you need to resonate with and what you've been experiencing in this video, okay? I love you. You are loved. Until next time, peace. Thanks for watching.